Hello, fellow VHT members. This is Sathos, your second in command. I'm finally doing this video guide on how to, set up a city within our Lord of Ultimate universe and have it be a profitable and efficient venture. So, right here on screen, we can see I have my first city, which is Sathos. It's actually the second city I ever made, but this is the first resource city. So it's the first city I've gotten completing. Um, it's not designed to be altogether efficient. As you can see, it's only got constructed efficiency. And what I call constructed efficiency is efficiency you can get from either cottages or from production buildings, such as this sawmill, which gives me an additional 375% bonus to wood processing, or this cottage, which gives me an additional 120% bonus to wood processing, an additional 60% bonus to stone, for a total of 180%. Each cottage is going to give around 180% bonus, except for these side ones because they only touch a couple. And each sawmill is going to give around 375 to 420, 450%, depending on whether or not it's a top piece or a centerpiece. As you can see, I've got a couple things up here too. Like I said, this is just a production city. The city is designed to produce two resources, in this case wood and stone, and as you can see, they're pretty balanced with this setup, where we have like 6 rows, 5 or 6 rows of stone down on the bottom, and then a couple rows of wood on the top, and then a couple rows of wood on the outside, maintaining this pattern. If you want to substitute out cottages for natural resources of the type that the production building would want to be matched up with, so for instance, if there were sets of trees up here where I've got these cottages, I could get rid of those cottages and replace them with that natural resource in my layout, and I would produce things a little bit slower, but I would end up with a higher natural production rate, because cottages only end up giving around 30% per production building, even at level 10. And natural resources, you don't have to level them. Level 0, they give 50% for the first building, and then 40% for every additional natural resource you have attached to that building, which is pretty significant. It's a 20% increase for every one you get on a lot of your production. Let's see here. Let's just look at a couple other cities that I don't have quite fully set up, so we can see what I'm talking about. In order to get your cities like this, you're just going to want to destroy all the resources within them. Like I said, that's optional. It's a lot easier to destroy all the resources because you don't really have to do any thinking, but like there's this stone here. I'm not going to destroy it because I would just replace it with a cottage. It's hitting 3 stone production buildings. I feel like that's a good thing right there. I'm going to leave that one in. Just little gut decisions like that. But otherwise, the same general layout for a production city. Just like 4 cottages lined up on each side of the town hall, north and south. And then this 1, 2, 2, 1 pattern on the sides. And you're just going to put production buildings, or I mean, not production buildings. Yeah, production buildings. Refinement buildings inside of this gap. There's a couple city types you can have. I've only shown you wood and stone so far because I think wood and stone is the most important. It's definitely what you want to be focusing on right out of the gate as far as city construction goes, because everything requires wood and stone to be upgraded, and you're going to want to upgrade all your buildings. I've got, let's see here, Leontini is my growing iron and farm city. Now farm cities work a little differently because farms actually get less of a bonus from cottages than they do just from having their little farm things next to them. So you don't really want any cottages inside of the city if you could avoid it, and you want to get as many of these lakes as you can by building next to pools of water, which I didn't for this one, so the city's not quite as efficient as it could be. Eventually I'm going to end up destroying like all of these cottages and just filling in these rows with farms, so that they'll each touch 2 of these land pieces, 1 of these, and some of them will touch these. It'll be a pretty efficient affair. I don't know what I'm going to do with the extra buildings that I'm going to get from destroying these cottages, because filling in these rows won't necessarily use up all those building slots. I'll just figure that out later. I think I'll probably devote it to more iron production so that the city can end up producing a lot more. As you can see, it doesn't really produce that much. I've been kind of ignoring it because you don't really need iron or food for a good period of time. Like, if you're trying to build an army and you still only have 2 cities, like, I would stop at 200, 300 guys, because it's not even worth it. You can't support a huge army with that small city count. I mean, I'm struggling to support an army right now, and I've got 7 cities. Yeah. So I would just say avoid it, concentrate on production, concentrate on construction, concentrate on efficiency, until you can have like 5 or 6 cities, and then you can start thinking about building an army. One more city type I wanted to show you guys is Lacre, I think, this is an interesting city type. It's going to be a gold city, which, as we can see, I've got a bunch of townhouses going up over here. As soon as this guy hits level 10, I'm going to plop down a bunch of harbors, and you'll see these townhouses kind of filling around there. And this area up here is probably going to end up being filled up with townhouses. For that point, like I said, I just always plop down a bunch of cottages and upgrade them a couple times so that I can have a decent construction speed. Like, my construction speed isn't good enough right now. I should probably turn off my trade minister so I stop getting auto upgrades on my townhouses, my town halls. And just concentrate on these cottages over here. But eventually this shape will get filled in, and these will get erased. Excuse me 1 second. And these will also get filled in. I put in a intrinsic temple here or 2, and some barracks, because I want to maintain a small standing army at this. I don't really think I need all that gold production. Plus, it allows me to maintain a continent 30 presence. Like, as we can see, this is one of my continent 30 cities, and I really needed to settle this area right here, so decided to go with a little bit of paladin action in the city as well. I feel like this should give you a good idea of how to build a city. Like, really, what you want to focus on is getting those cottages out in that rough shell. Figuring out what resource type you want the city to be, if you want it to be a resource type. And if you don't want it to be a resource type, like, it's going to be something else. Just clearing out these resources. Like, as you can see, I haven't even started clearing this city yet, but all of these resources need to go, because this is going to be a military city, and they don't need any resource production. All of this stuff is just eventually going to need to disappear. I might keep this pond, or this lake, so that I can have food production here, but that's it. And it's just going to be a long period of time where you sit there and you let 2-hour resource downgrades load. Alright, guys, I hope this has been helpful. If you need anything else, let me know. Have a nice day.